Today, let's start a conversation about niching or niching in your business, in your agency. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm going to have to say niche or niching because I am not used to saying niche or niching. But for you guys in the US, whenever I say niche, I mean niche. Or essentially, I mean specializing. So let's just picture now we're out at a networking event. We're a design agency and we're trying to generate leads for our business. The first thing that most of us think of, and I've done this for a long time, is thinking that if I specialize too much, then I'm going to miss out on loads of potential opportunities. So if I just say that I am looking for anybody who needs a website, that surely will generate me lots of leads. But the problem that I've found over the years is that if I was to say anybody during networking, then I kind of get nobody. I get no leads because it's quite forgetful. And let's be honest, there are a lot of agencies out there. There are a lot of designers out there. So how can we stand out from the competition? Well, I think the best way, and the best way that we found, is to discover what our specialism is, discover what our niche is. What industry can we serve that we are really, really good at and we can produce brilliant websites and brilliant services for so that they can be the best in their industry. So we have niched or niched down into agencies, but you could quite literally go into any industry. You could become the design agency for lawyers. You could become the design agency for accountants. But the beauty of this is when you go out then to have a conversation in networking, you're no longer looking for anyone. You are looking for accountants or you are looking for lawyers, and you specialize in building websites for those lawyers or those accountants, and you understand their industry. That suddenly makes you much, much more valuable to them because you will understand all of the rules and the regulations that go around their industry, what might be required of their website, etc. You become a much more attractive person and you also stay in people's minds. So when somebody meets an accountant and that accountant's website is awful, or maybe they are asking, do you know anyone who needs a website? You are actually going to be that forefront agency. Yes, I know your agency specializes in accountants and web development. You've got to meet this guy. He's great. It really helps generate opportunities for you because people will remember that you are the specialist. But also one of the major advantages that we found by sticking to one particular industry then is that we kind of become famous in that industry. For us, other agencies are talking about us to other agencies. So we're getting lots of business that way. We are a digital department for agencies. So you could do what we're doing, or you could become the digital company or the web company for accountants or whatever industry that you're in. And then the other beauty of this is that as you are developing software, websites, etc. for clients in that industry, you start to create a pool of software, a pool of tools that you can keep reusing as well for the different clients that you get. So when we have a project in and we get some code, etc., we always make sure that we retain some form of copyright on that code, which will allow us to use that in other projects in the future. So that will actually speed up the process, but still allowing us to charge our good, high, valuable rates within our industry because we are perceived as the experts in our industry. And again, that is something that you can do. You're niching down, you have your particular industry that you service with the websites. You also have started to build up a whole load of good code that you guys can reuse and reuse as well to the benefit of everyone that approaches you in that industry, which makes you more profitable, but again, makes you more attractive because you can offer a wider range of services for that industry. So all that fear of missing out that we've all done in the past where we've been in networking actually means we're missing out, because we're missing out on the opportunities that are given to us when we really super hyper focus on a particular industry, on a particular area. There's a cheesy saying the riches are in the niches or niches, yeah, because that is where you will be found. That is where you can find your opportunities. That is where you are super valuable to people within that industry. That is where you can charge the higher rates rather than trying to compete with the masses. Okay, so this is a beginning of a conversation. So let's start this conversation down below. How are you niching? And we're going to cover this as well, how to discover your niche in the future. But how did you discover your niche if you are already doing so? If you're not, what are you thinking of doing? What are your main pain points? Let's have a conversation below in the comments. If you'd prefer to keep this conversation private, we have a Facebook group over at wpinnovator.com/group. There are 960 something as of right now as recording. That is pretty amazing. And there are design agencies in there, there are agency owners, there are freelancers, there are WordPress geeks, all of us in there, all helping and supporting each other. So go ahead, check that out. If you liked this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, I believe that the dislike button is now permanently disabled, so don't worry about that. If you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe. We are still in VEDA, that's vlog every day in August, so please expect me tomorrow. See you then.